The Great Depression was a severe worldwide economic depression that took place during the 1930s. It originated in the United States. The timing of the Great Depression varied across the nations. In most countries, it started in 1929 and lasted till about 1941. It was the longest, the deepest, and the most widespread depression of the 20th century. In the 20th century, the Great Depression is commonly used as an example of how far the world's economy can decline. The Depression started in the United States after a major fall of stock prices that began in 1929 and became worldwide news when the stock market crashed on October 29th, also known as Black Tuesday. Worldwide gross economic product fell by an estimated 15%. By comparison, the worldwide GDP fell by less than 1% during the Great Recession. Some economies started to recover in the 1930s. However, many countries, this negative effect of the Great Depression lasted until the beginning of World War II. The Great Depression had devastating effects in countries, both the rich and the poor. Personal income, profits, tax revenues, and prices dropped, while international trading plunged. Unemployment in the United States rose to 25%, and in some countries, they rose even higher. Cities all around the world were hit hard, especially those that depended on heavy industry. Construction was virtually halted in many countries. The farming communities in rural areas, they suffered because their crop prices fell. Nicola Sacco and Bartolomeo Vanzetti were Italian-born American anarchists who were convicted of murdering a guard during the April 15th armed robbery at the Slater and Morrill Shoe Company in Massachusetts. 7 years later, they were electrocuted in the electric chair. Both men adhered to an anarchist movement that advocated relentless warfare against a violent and oppressive government. After a few hours of deliberating, the jury convicted both Sacco and Vanzetti of first-degree murder, and they were sentenced to death by a judge trial. A series of appeals did follow. They were largely funded by the private Sacco and Vanzetti Defense Committee. The appeals are based on recanted testimony, conflicting ballistics evidence, and a prejudicial pretrial statement of the jury foreman, and a confession by an alleged participant in the robbery. All their appeals were denied by the trial judge, and they were also later denied by the Massachusetts State Supreme Court. In 1926, the case had drawn worldwide attention. As the details of this trial and the men's suspected innocence became known, they both became the center of one of the largest causes of celebrities in modern history. In 1927, the protests on their behalf were held in every major city in North America, as well as in Europe. Okay, so hold on.